All right.
Hi.
Unmuted.
Is everybody ready?
Are you ready?
I'm as good as I'm going to be.
Oops. Sound is working. Oh, it seems dark, but the lights are on. Okay.
I think we're all right. What is the order of our agenda? Do you know?
It's website sewer program.
The sewer
Okay.
before the MJ? Yeah.
I probably could have just pulled it up here.
Here comes Graham. Got an important question.
No.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Need a
here comes
pencil.
another.
How about a pen? Oh, I don't have a pencil.
John, do they need
I don't
something
have a
to write with?
He needs a pencil, he said.
I have a pencil. You could borrow.
Pencil?
You borrow my pencil?
I don't know.
Fancy one. You're welcome.
I don't know. I didn't have an agenda. I thought that was maybe our meeting when we all talk.
I don't know what this is.
If you want to say we're just.
I never got a cold.
in a whole-
It just turned straight into a cold.
Short and sweet, and that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you got to say.
I hear ya.
That's the update.
I'm now 43. So, yeah.
Never end.
I never had allergies until very, very recently.
Yep, never did. Oh, hey.
Yeah.
God shamed me into being alone. Myself over there, so I don't know whose seat this is.
Casey's.
Update? I didn't notice it. That's how she wrote it.
I
It was
quit
more
in
of
the middle of.
a brief discussion on
Casey has a form.
presentation. Not necessarily an update.
Okay.
Just see what- I will know that. Okay, okay. All right, we will call this meeting to order, Public Information Committee, 4:05 PM. One note, the agenda does say brief sewer update information. It's actually going to be a discussion on doing a sewer update in the future, not doing one at the current moment.
Community meeting, right?
Correct, yeah, either a community meeting or some type of presentation at a council meeting. So we will have that discussion as the second item. So that being said, the first item on the agenda is the city website, which I know Nancy has been doing a lot of research into, and if that's okay, I will turn it over to you.
Yeah, all right, thank you so much. This is weird for me to talk at this, but I will give it a shot. So you have an outline here of what we've kind of been looking at. Shortly after I started working here, realized that the website, I mean, we heard a lot of people say that they would have liked to see something different. So actually about 6 months ago, we started looking at it a little more seriously, I guess you could say. But just kind of an overview, the website currently in use was implemented in 2023. Social Green Thumb, they built and manage it externally for us. And that would be Travis Lattimore. And he is he's been very responsive. I have nothing but good things to say about Travis. He works well with all the departments. He's very professional. He's done a really good job for us. But some of the challenges with the website is the navigation is not as user-friendly as I think it could be, and that content management on the back end is a struggle. It's very difficult for me to even go in and make a simple change because of the way the modulars are set up. So that's been huge for me. The objectives, I think, going forward with whatever direction we go for a new website, is to reorganize and simplify the information, improve the user experience, streamline the back end for content management, provide easy access to council agendas, packets, and video. I know that's huge for the community. Ensure there's ADA compliance, provide digitalized forms. So there is a PDF option, but that was also a complaint that I heard. A lot of times you have to download a PDF to read stuff. I'd like to see things more digitalized. Obviously, maintaining internal controls, if we take it over internally, would be important. It has to integrate with OpenGov and with our sewer inspection program. BSNA, not necessarily, but it should link to BSNA. So we did look at a couple of providers. Civic Plus was the one that I think kind of came out on top, so to speak. They are Kansas-based firm. They specialize in municipal websites. They have thousands all over the United States. So the pricing going forward, the initial cost in the first year would be $29,806, as you see, and that would include content transfer, building the site, software, and that does include a software tool called Agenda Solutions, which would be for packets and agendas. And that's something Perrysburg has. I know you guys, you referenced Perrysburg. They did this, and that's what they use. In year 2, the cost would be approximately $16,000. Now, if we also use them for our live streaming, that does change a little. That would be a little bit more expensive, as you'll see. But on the backside, you'll also see that I'm concerned if we do use them or for our live streaming, we might need to take a look at the internet in this room because it's a challenge. I use a hotspot to live stream. I don't know, I know from my understanding, Perrysburg has had a few hiccups in their chamber with this program. So we might need, so that could incur more costs, I'm not sure. Or if we add other tools. This is just kind of a rough overview. The implementation timeline would be approximately 4 to 6 months. It would involve the project manager and implementation manager would be assigned to us. We'd start with an initial meeting to just let them know what we want, show them maybe some websites we like, the functionality we need. They would customize it for us, and then they would build it. And then they would bring it back to us. And if we like what they built, we'd move on to the training phase. So they would work with, we'd have a team of about 6 people on our end that would be trained in this, and then we could then train others here in the city. And then we'd go through a launch phase, which is a 3-month intensive support. They give us a lot of support for the first couple months, and then ongoing support. Some comparable sites, if you want to reference any, that Civic Plus has done. Huber Heights, as I mentioned, Perrysburg, they actually launched theirs this year in 2025, so they just did theirs, and Upper Arlington, and then we noticed Bowling Green. There are a lot of them. You can look at the bottom of websites and see who does it. The other company that we looked at, or vendor, was Granicus. We did look at them. And they were fine. Again, I was a little bit more, I liked Civic Plus better. I just thought that, from my understanding, they just had more experience with municipalities. But Granicus, that's pretty much what they could do. The ADA accessible, simplified design. The initial cost for them was approximately 16 to 25 with an annual fee of 11 to 12. But they said that that could double depending on what we would want to do, if we wanted to add anything. And the implementation for them was approximately 9 months. So that's where we are with the website. I think next steps would be questions from you guys, questions from the community, and then if we want to move forward, we can do a deeper dive and find out exactly what we need.
Has Granicus done any municipal websites?
I'm sure they probably have. I don't even remember how, somebody gave me their name, and it must have been
Okay.
somebody, I don't even remember.
But I just wonder, like, you know, additional features could double the cost. It's like, if they're used to doing municipal websites and they know how extensive it can be,
Right.
I don't know. I feel like maybe we could get a little better idea of what the price would be, because it's big to double it.
Yeah, I could find out more. The reason Civic Plus just kind of stood out, they're kind of what I've been told the gold standard for municipal website design. That's kind of why I kind of zeroed in on Civic Plus. And
Yeah.
I talked to my counterpart in Perrysburg, and she was really happy with them. Actually, I think she gave me the name Granicus, now that I think about it. I think she looked at them.
Did they use Civic Plus before they did the upgrade?
No, they used Revise, and they switched from Revise to Civic Plus.
Nancy, do you know why our domain is .org?
No.
Harrisburg is .gov? I'd like to,
I would have to ask
Okay.
on that, I'm not sure,
okay.
unless somebody else
Can you
knows.
Make sure you speak into the microphone, please.
Oh,
Everybody else, yes, for
I have
Phil?
his microphone.
Can you borrow
Yeah,
one next
I will, thank you.
His question was, why is the Mommy website .org instead of .gov? I don't know. If anybody else knows the answer.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is the current annual cost for our website now?
So we pay $5,000 a month.
Okay.
Jeez.
So this would be a pretty big
Is that
saving.
correct?
That's for Travis to me.
Yes, for Travis to maintain.
And then about, what, 2,300, I think we looked it up for the website domain. So I don't know if that would continue or not.
Right.
That's an annual fee.
Okay, Jennifer, we pay, bring some rather monthly, how much, but what does it all, so that's not, stuff that all the IT things done, or that's strictly what?
He-
It's mostly, it's 6,000 a month.
He
Not
was going to
question
give me a
myself.
list of everything
Yeah,
he does. He'll do any kind of graphic art that we need.
That's what I was going to say.
He is on call. I mean, he does respond. A lot of different departments just reach out to him whenever they need
Yeah, he-
something done.
He does social media posts, website.
Well, I do.
He built the sewer scheduling system for us.
That was extra.
That was, yes.
Yeah, because he's
right.
got the, what is it, contracted for 8 or 10 hours a month and then extra for anything that is outside of that? That was last year's contract? I
Yeah,
think?
that was last year.
We didn't, we don't have a new contract with them, though. I think we're kind of month to month.
Okay.
That's,
Yeah, we are, yeah.
So it includes that 5,000 a month is more than just the website. It's also if we have any design needs?
Yeah.
Or are those extra?
No, no, design needs usually, unless it's the sewer program was extra. 'cause he
Okay.
put a lot of time
So
into
if
that.
like we,
Something
like
maybe-
that door hanger that you talked about,
Yeah.
that would be something that he would do as a part of that
Right.
monthly
Right.
retainer fee,
So, and-
essentially.
Right, and he would still maybe do some work for us if there's special projects, or I'll probably start doing a little bit more. Now with AI, you can, the
Between
tools
AI
now
and Canva.
make it a lot easier, right, which may come with some small monthly costs.
I think there's a lot that has to be investigated yet, really what does he do? How much of it is, excuse me, how much of it is internet? We got a lot of points up, questions. The content management, the modules are difficult to get into. Has Travis been approached, or his company, to say, here's some really good things we have?
Well,
Does it take fix this, or?
Well, I sat down and talked to him about that, but we never got so far as, we've discussed, he could show me how to do some of this, but we never actually did sit down, so I could get in there and try to work with it. I did see Civic Plus's back end, and it's just a lot more user-friendly.
You're right, and then, of course, everybody loves to keep stuff. When you say take it on internally, what does that mean?
I'm sorry, what?
You said we would take it on internally, there would be 6 people from the company that would train our people, or how many people does this take to run? And
So
we, as a here,
So they would have people, they would have a couple people that would train a team from the city of Maumee, which would be approximately 6 people. Like Kurt, myself, probably Amy Claxon, Casey, maybe Gina, Corey from finance. We'd kind of figure it out. And then the people who, from their departments, can do this kind of stuff. So it wouldn't just be one person overseeing, it would probably be a small team.
It would likely be limited things though, right? It would be like uploading the agendas and the videos. It wouldn't be, I mean, they're still gonna get that yearly fee because they're gonna control any design-related thing or any large, like, changes. Like, I mean, adding even a drop down to a, a page, they're gonna handle that. It's essentially the people, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, the people at the city getting trained, they're gonna be able to do like little things to the website that just updates things. Like maybe you update if we have the news kind of feed that slides, they can change what items are in that or something. Is that the thought? Like, did you talk more about what type of things they would have you, like you guys would be in charge of kind of like uploading, like updating,
I think updating and uploading, we would be able to do.
but more like minimal things?
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there a chance we could sit in on a demo? for them
Yeah,
With their back end?
absolutely.
To kind of take a look?
Yeah, there's a website too, and yes, absolutely, yeah.
Well, another thing that concerns me is we're not sure about the cost if it's double. Oh, okay, I heard that.
That was not Civic Plus, that was Gravicus,
Okay.
Granicus, I'm
We
sorry.
don't know really what they're gonna do, so I think, to be fair, they should look at our website, say, here's what we have, doesn't work well, it's not blending well, but here's everything we have. Give us a quote for that, or is that already included in the quote? All of a sudden, oh, we didn't, just backdoor things, forward, or things, where you have to go in 2 or 3, find.
They did look at our website, right? Because that's where they mentioned that we have like 250 pages or something.
Well,
right?
yeah, they looked at our website, and one of the things that we would have to do, or I would probably have to start going through, is purging. We have a lot of pages probably on our site that are outdated. That's what the other PIOs that I talked to who have gone through this process have said that's one of the first things they started to do is purging out the information that is outdated.
Do that.
Well, and that's something I have to talk to Travis about because, again, it's hard for me sometimes to get in and actually manipulate the
That
website.
was more of a question for Alan. Website.
Just depends on what it is and where it falls in the public records schedule. Correct.
Well, that's the benefit, I think, to having someone that's worked on a lot of municipal websites is they'll be used to dealing with those issues. But we should get some sort of, maybe we could get like a list on kind of things that Travis has completed if we get more, so we have a more accurate idea of, last year, how many extras did he do for that 5,000 a month, or, or in the past, how many months?
At any point, did we, exceed his monthly and he needed to do any change orders or anything like that?
No, and it is $5,012 a month. I had 6,000 in my mind because that's what the additional charge for the sewer program was for him to build that. So no, his monthly services have been within the scope.
Nancy, content management, do you have any sense, when Casey uploads the agendas and the minutes and the packets and so forth, is that a pretty straightforward thing for her? Does she run into problems? She shouldn't, but does she?
She doesn't run into problems, but I think some other municipalities have it organized a little differently, so it's just a little easier for users to access. And that's what the solutions, the Agenda Solutions program is. It's similar to what Perrysburg has, so if you go to their site and look at the way they have every meeting listed, they have every agenda listed, so you can always go back and view it pretty easily. Ours isn't, I mean, you guys tell me, you guys use it. I don't think it's bad, but
It's okay.
it's okay.
You can't, it's not searchable, so none of the PDFs, agendas, or any of that internally is not searchable. So if you don't know what you're looking for, you have to go and download each PDF and read through to see if you can find it. With the Civic Plus system, their PDFs are automatically OCE, which means that it scans all the text, converts it to searchable text. So if you're looking for something specific, you can find it.
Well, and it can bring it up so you can then look at
Yeah, you
it
don't have to
before
download it.
downloading it,
Yeah.
which is a lot of people like, because to look through, like you said, 10 different things, you don't have to download each one of them until you find what you need.
Yeah. And this quote that is included. That's the one tool that I did ask him to include for that reason.
Absolutely.
What about ease of getting into the meeting? I always, I try to do it at home. Would a new system help it? Because I know other people will send out an email, are you able to get in? How do you get in? I mean, would this system
Get-
solve that problem?
You mean get in as in watching it again?
Correct.
Yes.
So even, like, if I wanted to live stream it, I know, so, but you have to remember, I'm the generation that wasn't brought up on computers and streaming and stuff like that. And that generation is probably the ones that are home, sitting, trying to watch it, instead of going out of the house. So I was just wondering if this new system that we're looking at, you said that they do have some options for that, would they make? That somebody could go in and say, all I have to do is look here
Bam.
and select it,
Mm-hmm.
and it works.
Is that you, Paula? I can't see very well.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it should be just one button to click on.
Oh, it doesn't,
It,
never.
I know it doesn't, but
Yeah.
That's a
I'll try it
YouTube
when-
thing,
our
right?
Next meeting, I'll try to get in.
YouTube, is that what you get in for that?
So currently, we stream through our YouTube channel. We live stream through our YouTube channel.
And I get every other meeting but the one I'm on.
You have to go to YouTube and go to the City of Maumee on YouTube and then click the live option to watch it live.
Wouldn't it, here, it's right there on the, I mean, right there on our webpage, it says live stream, and I click it.
It would be, but it would cost the city money to do that. It would cost to add that live streaming function, and then in addition, we might have to do something to the internet in this chamber because it is, to support it. So if that's what people want to do, or if that's what the council wants to do, obviously, that is an option, yes. But there is a cost involved. Yeah.
Paula,
Okay.
check out Perrysburg's, go to theirs and see what it looks like. It'll show you, you can click on a meeting, you can see the video, and you can actually follow along with the agenda while you watch the video. Check it out.
But do we pay? I mean, you don't pay to host and everything on YouTube, do you?
I wondered if someone's going to ask that question because I'm not 100% sure. I need to double
Well,
check.
because if we would house everything on our website, I mean, you're going to pay to host all that, usually. Unless they can like embed the video and it's like, then they take you to YouTube. But, I mean, you got to look at that too, which things change so quickly. I mean, before you had to host everything. Now you can embed and it can take you to, wherever you need to go. So there's probably a way to do that now, but
Yeah, you could embed, because our website is WordPress, right? Not just WordPress, it's WordPress.
I think so.
Yeah, which is a content management system, but it's tough because it is so big and so vast. There are so many things you can do. So you can do a lot more customization, but it's harder. You can absolutely embed YouTube videos right on the website
Yeah.
as it is. You can do PDF viewers. It's just a lot more back-end work to do it.
yeah.
Maybe we need to do a YouTube video explaining how to watch our YouTube.
Not a bad idea. For the elderly.
The seasoned. And I think the big thing is not only making it user-friendly for those who are using it, but making it user-friendly for those who have to maintain it. Having to call somebody to say, can you add this
Change the
page? Can you
date.
add this information? Can you change this one little thing? When they can do that in-house, I think that would make a big difference.
Yeah, what is that process now? If you just want to update just text on a on one of the pages.
Yeah, I have to go through Travis. I usually send him a text or an email. And like I said, he's very responsive, so he does turn it around really fast. I've never had an issue, and he works, like I said, really well with all the departments, so he's been super But yes, I do have to do that.
But no matter what, he's not on call. So he's not sitting by the phone waiting for the city to call him
Well, he
and ask him to
prioritizes.
change something on the
He
website.
prioritizes,
Well, but
and if I say this is really urgent.
no, it's nothing against him, but if you're able to do the update and like say, for example, something's wrong on our website, like you could get in and do it right away instead of waiting, maybe it's an hour, maybe it's 10 minutes, but
Like a wrong date. You
Yeah.
accidentally put Tuesday instead of Monday.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard, to be honest, I've heard good and bad. I've heard different organizations say they've done these website changes, it's been awful, and then I heard others say it was no big deal, it was great. So, it can fall anywhere in between as far as transition to a new website, but
Okay,
I'd be
well-
for it.
Well, it is something that we will obviously look into. We can all go and check out the other comparable websites, take feedback from people who look into those websites as well, and it is at least on our radar now.
Right, and if there are any additional questions or specific questions, you can email them to me and I can get those answers for you.
Are we trying to keep like a timeline? Like try to have like points that we've all done our research by this time, or we're going to have someone come in and do, what were you saying?
Yeah, back end, because I'm sure they'll do a back end demo for you. Any software
Yeah,
company's going to do
maybe
that.
if Nancy can arrange something like that, and we can set up a meeting and then move on from there.
Just so we have kind of like the next step,
Yes,
like time
Maybe
frame.
next month?
sure.
And maybe get a breakdown so we know what the actual savings would be, because I assume we'll still use Travis for a lot of things. So rather than, quadrupling cost, if we can see, get an idea of how much he spends on just website things versus all of the other things he does for us.
Right.
Yeah, what it would look like if he, if he has one-offs, like, okay, Travis, what would you charge for like a door hanger? What would you charge for some of the things that, like the list of things that we get that he's done in the past year? Like what would be the one-off cost if he's not on retainer?
Because that would take communication with all departments, because it's just a static bill every month for the $5,012, so I don't know what.
He doesn't itemize it out or
No.
anything.
Yeah, does he contact them directly? Or do they contact him directly to get something created?
He has so people reach out to him a couple different ways. He created like a database where you can submit, questions, and it's, is it the website, is it social media, is it whatever? And then who submits it, there's a drop-down list of who submits it. And that way he keeps track of everything, so he could actually he has a database list.
I was gonna say,
of
maybe
every
he
single
can
thing.
give us what
He does.
he's, yeah.
So I can get that.
Assuming that people use that database, and most people do, not always, and I'm guilty of that too. Sometimes it's easier to send a quick email. But yeah, that would be a really good starting point to see what he's doing, how much time is invested, and then those special projects apart from just general maintenance of the website and social media posts.
Yeah, and those special will be above and beyond, not in that 5,000 that we're looking at.
Right.
So it's more, yeah.
Okay, cool. Perfect, I can do that.
Okay, so the next item is sewers, discussion about doing a larger scale discussion for kind of giving a update on where we're at and explaining some things, because Jennifer had reached out probably a month or so ago saying they were, being bombarded with calls, especially when it was announced that the consent decree was moving forward. But realistically, we're still kind of in a waiting period. So there's nothing to update when we don't have a definitive answer. So once we do reach that point, that's when we're going to put something together to basically say what the next steps are. Matt has started basically a two-sheeter on the process of applying for the grant, so we'll have that. Nancy's done a door hanger for those that will have work done in their areas. So it's a lot of moving parts trying to put them together when we don't want to I don't think anyone wants to do a public discussion where someone asks a question and the answer is, we're not sure, we don't have that answer yet. We want to make sure we have everything tied up and ready to go before we move forward with that.
So are we discussing whether, like, what kind of venue we think will be best?
We can, yeah.
Kind of, like, well,
That's the crux of it all too, I think, is a lot of what we saw when we did the other discussions were the same people coming every time. So do we do a one-off type of discussion? Do we just do a big, wide range discussion at the beginning in like a committee of the whole? Because those are going to be webcast anyway. If we do it somewhere else, we don't have that ability to webcast it and then have it out there in video form. Whatever it is, I think it needs to happen in this room because we have the capabilities to record it, live stream it and record it to leave it up there for everyone to come.
but what if we did like like maybe a committee of the whole thing in here, so it's like recorded, people can look at it, but then we also do like something in the community thing that wouldn't be, so then we have like a presentation of sorts. I mean, because that's what some of it's going to be, right? We're gonna have to give them the information, kind of what we have, like some of the items that you talked about people are creating, and then obviously the question part will differ, from one meeting to another, but as long as they have that kind of basis of what the information is, and then, I don't know.
And I think if we can do some type of I don't want to call it a survey, but you put just a simple Google form or whatever and say, what are your questions about, the sewer program? What are your questions about the grant program? You compile those questions, then you can give a more concise answer rather than people asking the same question in a different way over and over and saying the same thing. Yes, Phil?
Just so people can hear. Being out and about in the community, it's still kind of surprising how many people don't seem to know anything about what's going on. So the idea of live streaming, like Paula said, there's a certain generation that's, that maybe that's the only way. There's probably people, in my generation still who they're not particularly tech savvy. They're not going to watch a live stream to know what's going on. So I think there is a big question of how do we get that into people's hands? I don't know if it has to be a mailer, like a one-pager of some kind, absolutely critical things that people need to know, because you're right, we have a very active group of people who've been involved from the very beginning, and it's the same faces, and we love seeing them. But my concern is about all the faces we haven't seen, and there's going to be maybe some big surprises, for them.
Phil, just before when I was on my way over here, somebody from your campaign put this big sticky note on my door. I think it's a great idea. It has all of your qualifications and so forth, but I think if we were to create something like this, be awfully labor intensive, but create something like this and stick them on the doors of, residents who have not signed up or have not been inspected. That, I don't know if that'd make more sense than a mailer. I don't know. Well, you're right. We have to reach them somehow.
I like John's idea of starting it here and streaming it, and also a mailer could maybe be included with the water bill. That did get a lot of response when we did send that out. Because sending a mailer to every house in Maumee is very expensive, so if we send it with the water bill, a little less of a financial hit. But a lot of those meetings that y'all have been witness to, when you go there, people have specific, and it's the same people asking the same questions over and over, and they consume a lot of time at the tables, but they hear the answer once, they come back 2, 3, 4 times, and it's the same question, the same answers, but they still take a lot of time up for the people who maybe want to come there and have something explained to them a little more in depth. So maybe we could do a blend of a presentation here. I like your ideas about what's your question? What is your question? Put your address down, because people want to have that specific question answer. That's the whole thing. It's like, well, it's taken care of around your perimeter. Well, I have this and I have that. So everybody has a little bit different scenario. Matt, I'm sure you know, like 20 people, 50 different questions. But I like the idea of starting it here and maybe maybe even some tables here for a few people to answer those specific financial questions, labor questions, contractor questions. Thank you.
Hey, Jennifer, our water bills, are all of them mailed out or are some electronic?
Some are electronic, so we did have this conversation about sending out a sort of focused mailing, and if we could overlap that with our residential billing cycles, because we have 3 different cycles that are mailed out 3 different months, and those cycles overlap the area that we discussed focusing on, because we really have to start focusing on inspections in certain areas of town to really make an impact and to meet our timeline. So we do have that list of addresses pulled, cross-referenced with the list of those individuals that have already scheduled their inspections too. So we kind of had that conversation, focusing on specific areas of a town too.
Thanks.
I have a question. So as we're talking about a format, but we don't know the questions that people have yet, I do like the survey idea. I'm a big fan of surveys. I do think it's important to have a presentation. My question is, how far along in the process are we in actually sort of, we said that we're creating some 2-pagers and 1-pagers, applications, those sorts of things. Will that be available pretty quickly after we hear about the information, or is that we're making sure so when we say, okay, let's do this in 2 months, we have a lot of those answers and a lot of that paperwork?
Yes, the 2-pager that Matt drafted, it's gone through a couple reviews, and I think it's good to, as soon as we're ready to pull the trigger on that.
Okay.
And then the door hangers are ready, and those are for work being done in the area, right? Because
So if the sewer team has work that they're doing, any type of work, this work or anything, they can alert the residents to let them know, we're going to be in your neighborhood this week or whatever, and to expect this. There's certain like descriptions of what might happen, so they will know, and then a phone number that they can call. And we also need to start posting it on social media. They're going to be on the street or whatever as well.
So we did have a conversation too about staffing, administrative support to help out in that role, and what phone number they're going to call. So we're finalizing that too.
Somebody out there?
Yeah, actually, Matt and I had that conversation today too. Right now, those are funneled to Corey, and then she is then disseminated that information of what the next steps would be, whether it's sewer, whether it's Matt Miles reviewing the applications, or looking at the inspection reports. But Corey has learned more than she ever wanted to know about sewers, so she is really
As we all.
Yeah.
really a tremendous asset to the city. And she is very well versed on answering those questions and directing people on those next steps. But she is essentially like the gatekeeper of all the paperwork and the process at this point.
So she'd be a good person to ask, what are the most common questions you get? So we can maybe try to answer some of those ahead of time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Would there be a way to get out something that people could submit questions before we have a thing? So we could come with some questions answered?
Yeah, that would be the survey type
Yeah, I
thing.
think you
Yeah.
have to.
So you would do it before?
Yeah, beforehand.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah.
How much longer for the judge of the 30 days?
I mean, just survey, regardless.
think we could put that together pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I'm not.
Right.
Just the deadline on the public comments for the consent decree is 20,
I say September 26th.
26th, but we don't know how long it'll be after that until the judge actually signs, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Julie, were you talking about speaking to someone specifically or having like a robo recording? Okay.
Yeah. So like if Corey can't answer her phone at that moment, it has sort of like with our new phone system, can we do stuff like that?
Yeah, we can.
Do you get to record it?
We can if we would like to, but nobody has volunteered to do that yet. So if you're volunteering, Chelsea.
I'm good, thanks.
Chelsea's the voice of
Yeah.
sewer
Voice of
on
mommy.
robocall.
I do like that. It also would be good to give people the website on that if they can't get an answer right away.
Right.
It's
Like sewer
it's
question at Maumee.
Yeah, and right now it's conveyance@maumee.org. I think we're in a little too deep to change that at this point, but I'm
Right.
sure we could mask it somehow if we needed to.
Yeah, I don't know if I could spell that without looking it up.
I agree.
Is it obvious when you call, I need to call the city, I guess, with the new system. If you have sewer questions, press 5 and it sends you directly to Corey?
That doesn't exist right now, but we can do that.
That would be helpful, I think. Because
So-
especially if that's going to be one of the number one things right now. We can tell people, call this number and press 5 for sewer questions. I mean, that's easy, I feel like, for anyone to do.
Okay, yeah, we can set that up through the main administrative number. It- Yeah,
Yeah, I would, before we funnel everything to her, I think we would want to make the secondary system where if her phone's busy, it goes to the.
The robocall.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to just ring and ring. People are going to be like, I tried to call,
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
answered.
Yeah.
At least if it bounces them to a recording, they can at least hopefully maybe get an answer, or I'm guessing at the end of this supposed robo thing, it would say, for more questions, hold on the line or email
Right.
at this email address. Please don't climb on the walls, you little monkeys.
Oh.
Now it's recorded forever. That's officially public record. I do think that's why it will be really important to do the survey first, get as many of those questions answered as we can, and have that available publicly, either via town hall, forum, on the website, through social media, because a lot of people are going to have the same questions, and they will ask them.
Yes.
So it'd be nice to be able to say, did you check here? Here it is, check this out. Having a packet of info that we can sort of disseminate, I think would be really helpful.
They're like, wow, you're waiting for your answer or question to be answered. Please go to da-da-da to listen to the frequently asked questions.
Say, would like something mailed to you with frequently asked questions. Could you do something like that, that people could,
Well,
or find it on the web, that they could call?
To find it on the web, they could go to a specific website.
That way they would, because you're going through and you're listening, and then sometimes people like to have the paper in front of them. So, people learn differently, so
And we could just,
that option.
and we can just proactively mail those out with utility bills too.
And this kind of goes back to the website, like Nancy doesn't have the ability to just go on the front page, put a big banner at the top that says, click here for sewers, which ideally, that's our biggest thing right now. That should be the first thing people should see when they go to maumee.org.
Yeah, which is especially tough for people who are not great with computer things in general, having to download a PDF and try to view it, and
well, you download it and it's like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
I can't find it to
and
open
sometimes the
it.
viewer doesn't work, like PDF viewers don't work on mobile very well, so if you look at it, it literally just looks like a bunch of code. It's just HTML and CSS.
Yeah,
So, and it's not through any fault of,
I've had that issue.
yeah, it's
on
just sometimes that happens with those types of viewers.
Yeah.
Blame JavaScript on that. but having it available might be a little bit easier.
Well, it'll be important to have all the things, like something on the phone, something on the website, something that we can stick on someone, whether it's a door, knob hanger or the sticky note things. And
Somebody with a
But then-
sandwich board on Conant.
but then something to mail, because like Jennifer said, if we're focusing on a certain area, we're going to need to do it. Like, I love the idea of being able to do the water bills, and maybe we can coordinate that area will go out at the same time, we can stuff them. We might need to do a separate one that's, okay, this group of town needs to get this mailer right now. But
Yeah, and it's not going to be all our eggs in one basket thing. We're just not going to be, let's just do one discussion, be done with it. It's going to be all of the different possible, any way possible, I think we're going to explore, but it already sounds like we're doing many of them. So just to kind of button this up, I think the first thing we want to do is the survey, right? So we can develop those questions.
Yeah.
That will then lead us into all the other various things, the phone number with the automated responses, focused mailings, that we would put those answers on, a website with those answers, and then the live update that would answer all those questions as well. Yeah, something along that lines.
And we do have FAQs on the website. I think it just needs to be like expanded on. Oh, sanitary sewer inspection FAQ. So based on the survey, we could add additional questions.
maybe when you go to the website, there's a pop-up that says sewer questions, click here. And then people can X out if they don't, and they can go to where they need to, but like number one thing is like addressed right there. I don't know. Granted, people will have pop-ups turned off, but
Just from a logistics point of view, when you set up a survey, you're going to want to separate that into sections so you can keep track of what it is. Otherwise, you'll get 15 different random questions. So is your question about the process? Is your question about the inspection? Is your question about the application? That sort of thing, because otherwise it will be a tremendous amount of questions.
Click on that topic.
Yeah, it won't be just send your questions to conveyance@maumee.org, because then someone's got to sift through all that.
Yeah, yeah.
So if we can do the survey in sections with specific themes or
Yeah.
areas, categories, yeah. I don't know why I couldn't
And
think
there
of that
is a
word.
WordPress plugin for that.
All right.
Travis, I'm sure will know about it.
Anything else on that? Okay. We're going to get
Just
kicked
a-
out of this room, so we're going to move on to the marijuana moratorium discussion. So this was brought up at the last council meeting, a way to get more public input now that we've re-upped the moratorium. I think kind of along the lines of the sewer discussion we just had, it may be something starting out with doing a survey, sending it out, saying, how do you feel about it? List the different topics. I don't know. I'm up to discussion.
Yeah, because I guess the question is, do you want dispensaries for recreational marijuana? And if you do, where do you want them located at? I don't know if you've been through, like, heading towards Detroit, Monroe, Michigan has a old mall area, or is it exit 13? Thanks.
yeah, like
Oh, there he
20
goes.
dispensaries all in one spot.
Right.
Exit 11, Lockwood Road. Just an educated guess.
And the other question on that too is it does also ban temporarily growing and things. So
No, we didn't ban growing, yet that's still allowed under the,
that's not in our moratorium?
no, we didn't prohibit that. We couldn't prohibit that. But one of the issues too is, right now, the excise tax that was voted on as part of issue 2 Part of that was supposed to come to the host community cannabis fund. So far, the state's blocked all that. And so none of these cities with dispensaries get any money for them yet. And it's unlikely, the way that they have like 3 different bills pending that would eliminate or modify the tax revenue for municipalities. So if you take them on, you're not really going to get any additional revenue, which I think a lot of the cities thought would happen and hasn't happened to date. It is unlikely to happen the way it looks.
Yeah, that's, I did see that they were originally, the host communities were supposed to get extra tax revenue from it, and the state is blocking it. But has that legislation stalled, or is that still?
Still out there.
Still out
They just
there.
haven't held
Okay.
any committee meetings or anything on it yet. And they haven't released any money either.
Yeah.
Well, based on like feedback I get from people, now that, this is actually happening, is a lot of people, especially with our location, go up to Michigan because it's a lot cheaper.
Well,
I
that's
hear
what happened.
Ohio is, expensive, and the weed up in Michigan is cheaper.
I think that's why the medical one pulled out is likely due to Michigan, so.
I'm just saying, I mean, as we're considering this, those are some of the things. How many people are going to want to locate here that is a dispensary? If a lot of businesses going up to Michigan, are we going to get this mad rush? I think that's what everyone goes to their fears. We're going to get a mad rush of dispensaries if we allow. And, I think some communities choose to allow with standards and, criteria that you make sure you don't have exit like you do up in Monroe, that there's literally like 15 on that one exit. There's a ton.
Yeah.
So like what we did with some of like the dollar store things, it's like you don't have any more than, you only have so many within a so many mile radius. So we think about what our, city boundaries are and, what percentage would we want to have? Like how many would we think
Yeah.
makes sense?
Well, and
for-
that was my question on it, is in the, that was passed in '23, it said the city is going to do all this additional research, and I get why we haven't, because we've got a lot going on, but I'm just wondering what that research would entail, what, public wants. Right now, it says for either medical or retail sales, it doesn't allow anything that would enable the cultivation, processing, or retail sale. If we're going to, pick out these things, we should probably just either codify it, make our stuff, and move on. I just would hate to keep doing temporary moratoriums.
No, I think we should go through the research like phase, and part of that being some sort of public forum or, call out to get people's feedback on what they think about allowing them or not. I don't know why I just pointed to him.
You,
One of the things we did on council is we put in some parameters that it can't just be a store for selling of marijuana and what everything goes with it. It had to be so many shelves contributed to different things. It couldn't just be a store to buy that product at. So it had more than just one use there. Try to put in things that it's going to make it appealing for everybody in Maumee, not just a group of people. Maybe they're just going to hit the store and nobody else has a use for it. To try to make it a little more conforming to the cities, to the entire population's use versus maybe a smaller of the population's use. So there's a lot of work we did already with that.
very cool. So yeah, I guess that was a lot of stuff. My question was, what have we done? So thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Because I do think it is time to put something on paper about it, hearing from the community about they want maybe another survey, tell them to talk to us. I don't know what the next part is.
I need to do basic research on, I've just not looked at this at all. Like, are you allowed to? Maybe you know this, Alan. Can in a place like a cigar shop, can you buy it there and then smoke it? You can buy alcohol, then drink it.
I don't think there's, not supposed to use it in public under Ohio statute.
That's what I'm asking. I have no idea. I've not looked at all. So, okay. No use in public, just, you wouldn't know that by all the times you smell it everywhere.
Yeah. You can buy THC drinks and stuff. I've seen
Yeah.
those are kind of at bars now and at
Yeah,
liquor
Stores.
stores and things.
yeah.
But I didn't know if this is obviously for specifics of, dispensaries and cultivation and processing.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how that would affect the rest of it.
Well, like, if you have a place, I didn't know if you had a place to sell it, that you could then use it, like, I mean, so, but I guess not.
I don't know, ask John.
John Sayer, not me. Did we have any businesses reach out, even though we did have the moratorium? It doesn't mean they couldn't have reached out, and does anyone know?
Originally, before the vote came up, there was a lot of people that were making inquiries. That's why we put the moratorium on until we can figure it out. After it passed, after they saw the process, not really
Right.
too many, a few.
When we put parameters in, like, here's what you need to have in the store, most people got
Great.
Is there a spot that does it well that we could look at?
You want to take a council field trip to a dispensary?
Well, I mean, like a state, I don't know, yeah, like, is there's,
Exit 11 up there.
that's Michigan, though. I mean, Ohio, it sounds like Ohio has different rules.
I'm not for or against anything specifically. I just would hate to lose out on decent tax revenue if it's available, when that's one of the things we're always trying to bring in.
Doing medicinal here, they weren't being.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People talk about the tax revenue, like, ooh, sounds great. What's the other side of that coin?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking, is what is
We have
that?
How many facilities in Michigan, in Maumee now for supplements? How many?
We have a moratorium
Probably.
on that too, don't we?
Well, there's a question about a couple of them that are cropping up, but there's two main ones that we deal with and some lesser ones.
They are huge financial for the city. We are their anchor. Carriers out. And,
The police are called there frequently,
For the, you mean for rehabs?
right?
That would be a very interesting question to research to find out,
already.
I'd love to see it. That'd be great. You know me, I love to read.
They were. they
They're
were
not in there
awarded
for marijuana use, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, just,
We want to encourage more of that.
that's fair. That's why I'd like to see, that was my main question with it was, what is the research? Can we see some of that maybe when we do, get to the point where we vote something in permanently or impermanently, that we can share why we are voting the way that we are.
Yeah, and like Alan pointed out, like until they figure out the taxing, really, it could wind up all we're getting is income tax, and most of those workers aren't making all that much money. So how much is the city really going to get out of it, and is it worth it? Again, all things that
Yeah.
we need to look into. All right, so we're on another survey. Sweet. Anything else on that? Okay. We're not getting kicked out for another half hour. Does anybody have anything else public information committee related? I see nothing.
You didn't give us very long to think, John. I'm joking. I don't think I have any.
No, anything else for me would have been still related to the website, and also parks, getting more of the parks on the website, which if we're going to do a, however, 4 to 6 month long timeline, we might want to consider listing our parks and where they are at.
They were at one point on the
They used to be.
website. It's probably another one of those, you just can't find it.
Yeah, I mean, I've searched
Yeah.
them on there. Right now, if you go to the recreation, it just shows Rolfe Park. And
Cool.
and then you can maybe go to the indoor on a drop down. There might be a page for the parks, but I've looked.
Yeah,
to
I've
see.
come
Can't
across
find
that
them.
where you
They did used to be, absolutely.
you go to one page, you can't find something, but then you go to another page and the link is there. It's just,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do usually do the, you can do the quick search.
Yeah.
You can find just about anything. But maybe it's on there. If it's not, I sure would like to put it on there.
Well, and the city of Toledo has like a map that shows visually where the different parks are located.
We can do that through RecDex, can't we? That we use
The-
for booking Rolfe Park?
I don't know.
Rec desk?
I never use Rec Desk.
Yeah, that's how they book the softball fields at
Yeah.
Rock Park.
No, but you can see a map
Yeah,
for them.
the map shows up for Rolf Park on it. It just, we don't have
No,
any other
none of the
facilities
other
on there.
parks?
So yeah, you can build that to incorporate all of the other parks. Like Rec Desk, like Chelsea said, it's the reserved fields. So I don't know if Rec Desk would work just to show the facility. I don't know, but
Well-
we could research that too.
Do, like, I get that they don't, I mean, at Roth, they pay to use the fields or whatever. Do we have anything for, like, if someone wants to use Anderson, they use that shelter? I mean, not to pay, but just to at least, like, reserve,
to
or
reserve
it's
it.
just kind of first come, first serve?
Yeah, the old website said that Anderson was always first come, first serve, and when the bathrooms were locked, they're now unlocked all the time, you would pay $50 to get the key upstairs, return it, and get your $50 back.
Oh, okay.
But now it's open all the time, so they don't need to do that.
But yeah.
Julie had a question.
Right.
I think, people have already, and we're really, plenty of questions now, when they have. They've been really good for months.
I would think Corey, if she's
Yeah.
getting the questions, she would have a good list of, yeah, too.
Alan,
Yeah.
everybody was at the table. And even us, we have a lot of.
Yeah, and, I mean, you would hope people ask questions perhaps that maybe they don't have, but they have heard, but also, you know, there's probably it would make sense to sit down with CMAC. I know John has reached out and has offered. We have a sit down with, kind of like we did the initial sewer discussion, something like that, where we make sure we show you what we have, what has been submitted, and you guys can say, those are good, here's what you're missing, something like that. I think that's definitely something that we want to do. We can start the question taking period right now. Like, as soon as we get a survey up, we're good to go and start compiling that.
Regardless of what they disagree or not agree with that, it's got to happen, it doesn't matter really what they decide. Well, that'll be the financial.
But the
No, that
question-
was my question. Like, I wondered when we were going to start doing it, like, how long's our period? But it makes sense to start it before. Start asking everyone the questions about what questions would be good. Yeah.
Corey started documenting those questions.
Yeah, I think she actually has a FAQ list started already.
Great,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
For who's asking what questions. Mhm.
All right, well, if there's nothing else, would anyone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.